Hello everyone. I want to focus on the question that's being asked at the very end of your problem. And if you'll notice, it says right here, what should the price of the car be set at to maximize sales? Maximize sales. So I'm going to go off on what may seem like a tangent, but it's very much related to many of the business problems that we have in this class. And I need to briefly talk about some very useful functions. So far we've been introduced to the price. And what is your price? This is basically the sticker amount. It's the amount that your item is selling for. Okay? So we also have the revenue. And the difference between the revenue and your price is that the price is the amount that's on your commodity, and your revenue is the amount that you get in from sales. So if you sell 10 items, then it's 10 times however much the selling price was. So one of the examples that I like to give is that you've got these kids who are selling lemonade at a stand. They're selling the cups of lemonade for $2 each. So $2 per cup. And they sell 10 cups of lemonade. And so then I ask, how much do they bring in? And you probably would say, well, it's $2 per cup and 10 cups. So of course they're bringing in $20. Okay? So the question is, how did they get that? So this represents your revenue. This is your revenue. Okay? So your revenue is the money that you bring in from sales. Okay? So how did they get it? So your revenue in general is your selling price times the quantity. Just like that. Okay? All right, so this idea of the price times quantity is going to come into play in nearly every revenue problem that you're going to see in this class, unless, of course, they give you the revenue function. So your revenue is equal to, quite simply, your selling price times your quantity. Like that. All right, so you have the sticker amount, which is your price. You have the revenue, which is the money that you bring in from sales. We also need to talk about the cost. And this one is the money out. Okay, what's the money out for? From expenses. All right, so say you brought in $20 from your revenue, but it cost you $5 to make the lemonade. So your cost would be that $5, however much you spent in order to create your commodity. The last thing that we need to worry about is the profit. And your profit takes into account that you brought money in, but it also cost you in order to manufacture your commodity. So this is money in minus the money out. Right? So quite simply, your profit is equal to your revenue minus your cost. So I usually label the profit as capital P of X. So this is capital R of X for the revenue minus capital C of X for the cost. All right, so let me get back to the problem now that we have all of that laid out. And this is where I left off, that your price is negative 500X plus 55,000. And it's the price at X cars is this formula. Okay, so if I go over here and I think about what they have right there in the circled area that I've given you, it says that we're trying to maximize sales. All right, so I'm not sure that what we have here is sales, because this was the price formula. Okay, so if that's the case, we need to look at our list and say, what represents sales? And there it is. It's your revenue equation. The money that's coming in from sales is your revenue. And how do you get there? Well, you take your price and you multiply it by your quantity. It just turns out in this situation, your price is not like a clear number. It's not like $2. Okay, instead, your price is a sliding scale. It's this. It's a formula. Your price goes down as more cars are sold, right? So our general revenue equation for this formula, which again is price times quantity, is equal to negative 500x plus 55,000 represents the selling price times your quantity. If I go back to what I have here, it says that this is the price of manufacturing X cars. So X represents the quantity here. So if we distribute the X to both of these terms, then you get that your revenue, R of X, equals negative 500 X squared plus 55,000 X. Alright, so this is where I'm going to end this video. It's really important to understand those concepts. Please go over them repeatedly so that you have a deeper understanding of some of the major functions that will be used in the class.